Imagine this, a room full of people, laughter, debates, loud voices overlapping, and in the corner, someone who barely speaks. Yet strangely, everyone notices him. They lean toward his silence. They glance at him more often than the person telling the longest story. His lack of words doesn't make him invisible, it makes him magnetic. This is the paradox of quiet leadership. The world tells you to speak up, be bold, be loud if you want respect. The strongest leaders often don't need to shout. They know brain hacks that make people feel their authority without a single raised word. Today, I'm opening the vault. These aren't basic confidence tips. These are forbidden psychological tricks, the kind that shift how people see you without them realizing why. If you've ever felt overlooked because you're quiet, this video is going to change the way you move through every room, every meeting, every relationship. But here's the catch. You'll have to pay attention, because once you learn these hacks, people will notice you differently forever. So let's step into the shadows of silent influence. The silent brain trigger. Why quiet leaders stand out. Here's a secret most people never consider. The human brain is wired to notice what isn't there. In a loud world, silence is shocking. Our nervous system has a bias called the contrast effect. We pay more attention to what breaks the pattern. When everyone is loud, the one who is calm feels more powerful. Think of predators in the wild. The lion doesn't roar while stalking. The owl doesn't flap wildly. Silence itself becomes a signal of control. Now, apply this to humans. When you don't rush to speak, people assume you're thinking something more important. When you pause before replying, they assume you're more intelligent. When you conserve your words, they assign weight to each one. This is called the scarcity effect. The fewer words you give, the more valuable they seem. And without knowing it, you've hacked their perception. That's the first brain hack of quiet leadership. Use silence as a spotlight. In a world where everyone screams, the one who whispers becomes the one who's heard. Invisible authority, nonverbal, triggers of leadership. Let's move deeper. Words are only a fraction of communication. Studies show up to 93% of authority signals are nonverbal, meaning you can command respect without saying much at all. If you master these dark cues, the gravity effect. Quiet leaders slow down. They don't rush into rooms, don't dart their eyes around. Instead, they move as if time bends for them. This creates the illusion of gravity, like the space itself adjusts to your pace. People instinctively give more attention to whoever seems least rushed. The power gaze eye contact is a weapon. But here's the twist. Don't hold it like a staring contest. Instead, lock eyes long enough to unsettle. Then break contact slowly, as if you're choosing to withdraw your attention. This subtle move makes others crave it back. Micro-dominance, cues, little things, placing your hands calmly on the table, leaning back instead of forward, or tilting your chin slightly up, signal dominance to the primal brain. These micro-movements are silent orders that say, I'm in control, the voice of authority. Even quiet leaders must speak sometimes. The trick is cadence. Speak slower than others. Use downward tones at the end of sentences. It subconsciously signals finality and dominance, and never rush to fill silence after you speak. Let others sit in your words. Now, why do these work so effectively? Loudness may grab attention, but calmness keeps it. That's invisible authority. Brain hacks to lead without volume. Now let's unlock the practical hacks you can start using today. These are not shallow confidence tricks. These are psychological switches that make your presence felt without loudness. Master the power of the pause. When asked a question, pause for 2 seconds before answering. This does 2 things. It makes you look thoughtful, and it forces others to lean into the silence. Their brain labels you as more intelligent and dominant. Anchor with eye contact. Instead of scanning everyone rapidly, focus calmly on one person at a time, as if your gaze roots them in place. People will feel individually acknowledged, yet collectively led. Control the rhythm of interaction. Don't match the frantic pace of conversations. Slow it down. Speak when you decide, not when the group pressures you. Rhythm control makes others unconsciously sync to your tempo. Plant psychological markers. When you do speak, use anchoring phrases like, here's what really matters. The truth no one notices is, if you understand this one thing, you'll see differently. These cues make people remember your words long after the noise of others fades. The dark edge of quiet leadership. But let me warn you, these hacks have a dark side. They work so well because they exploit human psychology, and history shows us how dangerous that can be. Cult leaders like Jim Jones, dictators like Stalin, and manipulators like Charles Manson weren't loud all the time. They often used quiet, mysterious presence to control others. People projected strength onto them because of what they didn't say. This is the shadow side of invisible leadership. Silence can inspire, but it can also deceive. Mystery can create respect or fear. So here's the ethical line. Use these hacks not to manipulate, but to elevate. Lead with quiet strength, not hidden malice. Because when used right, these brain hacks turn overlooked introverts into unforgettable leaders. But used wrong, they turn silence into a cage of manipulation. The quiet challenge. Now the choice is yours. You can walk away, keep talking too much, keep trying to be louder than everyone else, and keep blending into the noise. Or you can embrace the path of the quiet leader. You can master the brain hacks of presence, silence, and invisible authority. You can become the one people notice without knowing why. Remember this, words may echo, but presence lingers. And when you control presence, you control perception. So here's my challenge. Next time you enter a room, don't fight for attention. Don't speak first. Don't fill the silence. Just be still. Watch how the room bends toward you. If you're ready for more dark psychology secrets and hidden leadership tricks, subscribe now and tell me in the comments, which hack will you try first? Stay quiet, stay powerful, and I'll see you in the next one.